Imagine a cold gymnasium in 1891, a man with a wild idea and two old peach baskets. What if I told you this simple setup, born out of necessity, would explode into a global phenomenon, becoming one of the most beloved and electrifying sports on Earth? Welcome to Origins of the Game, the place where we uncover the incredible stories behind the sports you love. Today, we're not just tracing lines on a court, we're taking a journey back in time to the very beginnings of basketball. We'll meet its ingenious inventor, witness the very first games, and track its astonishing evolution from humble peach baskets to the roaring arenas of the modern NBA era. Get ready to have your perceptions of this iconic sport completely transformed, because the true history of basketball is far stranger and more captivating than you've ever imagined. Our story begins in the frosty winter of 1891 in Springfield, Massachusetts. Picture a Canadian physical education instructor named Dr. James Naismith, a man facing a serious problem. He was working at the International YMCA training school, and his students were bored, restless, and frankly a little aggressive. The New England winter was brutal, making outdoor sports impossible, and the existing indoor options like gymnastics and calisthenics just weren't cutting it. Naismith needed a new indoor game, something that would be fun, easy to learn, and most importantly, not as rough as American football, which often led to injuries. He spent weeks wrestling with this challenge, observing existing sports and trying to create something entirely new. Naismith's big idea was to create a game that relied on skill rather than brute force. He wanted to minimize contact and make the game accessible to everyone. He settled on a few core principles. The ball should be thrown, not carried or hit. Players shouldn't run with the ball, and the goal should be above the players' heads, making it harder to guard and encouraging precision. So, with these ideas swirling, he sat down and, in just about an hour, scribbled down the original 13 rules of basketball. These rules were surprisingly simple, but they laid the absolute foundation for everything that came after. Now, imagine the first game. Naismith grabbed a soccer ball, and after a bit of searching, he found two peach baskets, which he nailed to the railing of the gymnasium balcony, about 10 feet high. He divided his 18 students into two teams of 9 players each. The game began. It was a far cry from what we see today. There was no dribbling. Players could only pass the ball or shoot it. If you caught the ball, you had to stop moving. After a successful shot, someone actually had to climb a ladder to retrieve the ball from the peach basket. This made for slow, deliberate play, but the students loved it. They finally had an engaging indoor activity, and the seed of a global phenomenon had just been planted. The primitive equipment and unusual rules were challenges, but they also sparked immediate interest and paved the way for the incredible evolution that would follow. This was the true basketball origin story. The game Naismith invented was an instant hit among his students, but how did it burst out of that Springfield gym and sweep across the nation? The answer lies largely with the very institution where it was born, the YMCA. The International YMCA training school had a vast network, sending its graduates all over the country and indeed all over the world. These young men, thrilled with their new indoor sport, took Naismith's 13 rules and a soccer ball with them, introducing basketball to YMCAs, schools, and colleges in cities far and wide. It was like wildfire, spreading rapidly from one community to another, making the history of basketball a truly grassroots story. Soon enough, colleges embraced basketball with open arms. It was a perfect fit for their athletic programs, offering a fast-paced, competitive sport that could be played indoors during the colder months. This collegiate adoption quickly led to the organization of early tournaments, drawing crowds and creating rivalries. As more people played, the game began to evolve. Those original 13 rules, while brilliant, needed some tweaking. Players naturally found ways to improve the flow and excitement. Small but significant rule changes started to occur, like modifications to the out-of-bounds rules or how fouls were handled. As the game grew in popularity, so did the emergence of charismatic players. People wanted to see their local heroes in action. Though the concept of superstars was still decades away in the pre-NBA era, these early stars captivated audiences with their skill and athleticism. They pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible within the limited framework of the early basketball rules. This period, before the formal professional leagues, was crucial. It laid the groundwork, building a passionate fan base and developing the fundamental mechanics of the game. It was a time of organic growth, fueled by sheer enjoyment and the simple thrill of competition, cementing basketball's place in the American sporting landscape. As basketball's popularity continued to surge, it was only a matter of time before it moved beyond amateur leagues and college campuses. The desire for more organized, high-level competition, combined with growing commercial interest, set the stage for one of the most pivotal moments in the history of basketball: the formation of the NBA in 1946. What began as the Basketball Association of America, or BAA, quickly merged with the National Basketball League to become the National Basketball Association. This marked the true professionalization of the sport, bringing together the best players and teams under one organized banner, setting the stage for NBA history as we know it. The NBA era truly transformed basketball from a regional pastime into a national obsession and then a global phenomenon. A huge part of this transformation came from the legendary figures who stepped onto the court. Think about the dominant power of Bill Russell, leading the Boston Celtics to an astonishing 11 championships in 13 years. Or the sheer unstoppable force of Wilt Chamberlain, who once scored 100 points in a single game, a record that still stands today. These iconic players didn't just play the game, they shaped it, pushing its boundaries with their incredible talent and athleticism. Then came Michael Jordan, who, with his mesmerizing skill and competitive fire, elevated basketball to unprecedented heights of popularity in the 1980s and 90s, making the Chicago Bulls a global brand. Today, we witness the continued excellence of players like LeBron James, who redefine what's possible on the court, inspiring new generations. These famous basketball players are more than athletes. They're cultural icons. Alongside these legendary players, the evolution of basketball rules dramatically changed how the game was played, making it faster, more dynamic, and more exciting. The introduction of the shot clock in 1954 was a game changer, forcing teams to shoot within a set time and eliminating stalling tactics. This instantly sped up the pace. The three-point line, adopted by the NBA in 1979, revolutionized offensive strategies, adding a new dimension of long-range shooting and opening up the court. And what about dunking? Believe it or not, dunking was actually banned in college basketball for a period in the late 1960s. Its eventual legalization unleashed a powerful, visually spectacular element that became a signature part of the game. These rule changes were critical to the evolution of basketball. The NBA's influence extended far beyond America's borders. International growth exploded, especially after the Dream Team phenomenon at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. Seeing NBA superstars like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird play together on the global stage captivated audiences worldwide. This wasn't just a team, it was a cultural ambassador, inspiring millions of children in every corner of the globe to pick up a basketball. This event fueled an unprecedented wave of international exposure and transformed the NBA into a truly global league, attracting talent from every continent. From those two peach baskets, basketball has exploded into a sport with truly global reach, transcending borders and cultures. Today, the NBA is a powerhouse, but it's just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Organizations like FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, govern the sport worldwide, overseeing national teams and global competitions. Beyond professional leagues, streetball culture thrives in cities everywhere, celebrating the raw, creative essence of the game. And with the rise of social media, basketball is more accessible than ever. Players share their training, their lives, and their highlights with millions, connecting directly with fans and further cementing the sport's place in global consciousness. This is modern basketball at its finest, a blend of tradition and innovation. The game itself has transformed dramatically. Analytics now play a massive role, with teams using complex data to optimize player performance, strategy, and even draft picks. Modern training isn't just about running drills, it involves cutting-edge sports science, nutrition, and mental conditioning to create peak-performing athletes. And player branding? It's huge. Stars aren't just athletes, they're global brands, with shoe deals, endorsements, and massive social media followings that amplify their reach far beyond the court. The game has become a complex ecosystem of talent, technology, and sheer star power. We see this evolution in every high-flying dunk, every impossible three-pointer, and every clutch game-winning shot. Basketball continues to push the boundaries of athleticism and skill, constantly evolving while still honoring its simple origins. So there you have it, the incredible journey of basketball. From a desperate need for an indoor game in a cold Springfield gym in 1891, to a handful of handwritten rules, 2 peach baskets, and a soccer ball, it has grown into a global spectacle, electrifying sold-out arenas and captivating billions worldwide. The story of basketball is a testament to innovation, adaptation, and the enduring power of a simple, brilliant idea. Which era of basketball do you find most fascinating? Let us know in the comments below and hit that subscribe button for more untold stories from the world of sports.